Patriots, mount up. It's time for the Patriots to mount up, mount up. It's time for the Patriots to mount up, mount up. Patriots, mount up. Let's monitor the politics, give them all the realness. Everything transparent so the people feel this. Government officials, we gon' challenge all your bullish. Lying to the people in the world, let's expose this.
Patriots, mount up. Hello, Salty Dogs. Welcome to the Salty Sailor Nation, Salty Sailor Live. I'm your honored but humbled host, the Salty Sailor, talking to you live from my bunker in sunny AZ. It is February 9th, 2021, 7 o'clock on the dot of a new patriotic republic. Apparently, I don't even know my show's name today. I'm so excited with everything going on. Wanted to say, first off, thank you for tuning in. If you could like and share this video to help me get out there, like I mentioned before in my last shows, 100 is my goal. If I go 100 and higher, it'd be better because I never silence the small guy. So any help is much appreciated, obviously, to get the conservative word out. Please feel free to like and share and possibly have watch parties. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, as we get in, enough of the housekeeping ideas. Let's go into the news. This is episode 10. Here we go. Biden's. Okay, here we go. Creepy Joe back at it again. The Biden crime family back in it. These guys are almost making the mafia look silly. Biden's son-in-law's involvement in company raises ethics questions. Another family member of the Bidens having ethics issues when it comes to, I don't know, corrupt ties. Here we go. President Joe Biden's son-in-law involvement in a company that invests in companies seeking federal government contracts has raised more questions about ethics and nepotism, which follows previous questions about his son's business dealings. So not Hunter Biden, which we already know is a corrupt, just a whack job. Okay, you only have that one, but now on top of it, now he's got a son-in-law, and this is about his son-in-law's business dealings. This is both ABC and Fox News reported that a small tech firm called Yossi Health, which has developed the software to improve COVID-19 vaccination distribution. Where is it, Joe? We're running behind up here in Arizona, so you're already screwing it up. Basically in December, contracted Startup Health, a company where Kryn, that's his son-in-law, serves as chief medical officer specifically because of its government contacts. The things that make you go, So I'll let you all think about that, but we'll move on to the next thing because we have tons of news to cover. This next part made me really excited. This goes to show when people have cojones, and this is what they can do and the power that can be people do in a non-violent way. In Italy, 5,000 restaurants stood up and went against the COVID restrictions. Literally 5,000 restaurants colluded together and overwhelmed the system, overloaded the system where the government could not find them because they were synchronized, and there are so many of them, they just finally gave up. So citizens took a stand and said enough is enough with these stupid draconian COVID situations or limitations. We're done. And basically they all stood up and they all worked together, and they were able to defeat the government restrictions there for restaurants. I thought the United States of America was the land of freedom and where we were always David conquering Goliath, right? Apparently, because of who's in the White House, we can't do this anymore. But honestly, this shows you we can do the same, and we will do the same. It's only coming soon, guys. And again, for all those fact checkers out there, in a non-violent way, that's called the American way and freedom, in case people have forgotten this. A news source, I want to give them credit where credit's due, radio.com. Articles of impeachment filed against President Joe Biden over a national security threat. Articles of impeachment were filed today by Republican congressmen from Georgia against President Joe Biden just one day after he was inaugurated. Okay, apparently this is a later part of the article, so we'll move on. But this is actually Marjorie Taylor Greene, and now that she has more time because she's off of all these committees, Now all she can do is go against Joe Biden, and they almost made a pariah out of her, and she's going to go after him. So, uh, just what Congressman Major Taylor Greene, a Republican representing Georgia's 14th district, introduced an article of impeachment for his corpus actions involving quid pro quo in the Ukraine and his abuse of power by allowing his son Hunter Biden, which we just talked about, his son-in-law, in siphoning off cash from America's greatest enemies, Russia and China. Congresswoman Greene released the following statement. President Joe Biden is unfit to hold office of the presidency. His pattern of abuse of power as a President Obama's vice president is lengthy and disturbing. President Biden has demonstrated that he will do whatever it takes to bail out his son Hunter and line his family's pockets with cash from corrupt foreign energy companies. Ding, ding, ding. Is this not ringing a bell with the fact of about the Middle East situation that's currently going on? You guys, you voted for this. This was known far before that this idiot got in the White House. Pay attention, people. Wake up. President Biden is even on tape admitting to the quid pro quo, with the Ukrainian government threatening to withhold $1 billion in foreign aid if they do not do his bidding. President Biden residing in the White House is a threat to national security, and he must immediately be impeached. He's already showing it, guys. 50 executive orders within 3 weeks of being in the White House. If that's not a dictatorship or the acts of a dictatorship, I don't know what is. And you're going to see it later on in this show where I have something else to tell you that even more goes to show you how freaking dictatorship this oops, I almost slipped. This guy is. Moving on. Arizona Senate. Okay, this is very disappointing. Again, we get all hyped up for something in our government to have some cojones and step up and do something about it. And again, they fail to do it. Arizona Senate fails to hold Maricopa Board of Supervisors in contempt over election fraud audit. But this is their way out. But the Arizona State Senate decided not to hold the Maricopa officials in contempt yesterday, per the Arizona Central. An attempt by Republican state senators to hold the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors in contempt failed on Monday as lawmakers seek to conduct their own audit of the presidential election results. Yeah, that's going to do something. What is it going to do? Absolutely nothing, like it has been doing. Breaking with the GOP caucus and casting the crucial vote against the measure, which could have led to the supervisor's arrest, Senator Paul Boyer said he wanted to give the county and the Senate more time to work out their ongoing legal dispute over the legislators' proposed audit. Shocking. Today's vote merely provides a little bit more time for us to work together as charitable and amicably as friends. Boyer, representative from Glendale, you should be ashamed of yourself, told the Senate. Boyer said the Board of Supervisors does not have any policy disagreement with additional audits of the last election and that his vote was not intended as an end of the process. My vote is about patience until you're voted out because you have no cojones. Moving on. Outrageous. Facebook flags and bans Gateway pundit video of late night ballot dump at TCF Center, citing, okay, I've already showed you on my page that it's got the video of that, right? I haven't actually, I think they banned it as well too, right? So it physically shows video of this happening, like physically. I mean, cut and dried, right in front of your face. The proof is in the pudding, like everyone wanted to, right there, right? Hopefully you guys got a chance to preview that while I posted it before I took it down. But here's the thing, they cited nudity and sexual activity as the reason for them doing that. Okay, I did not know that a mail carrier or letters coming in these unmarked white vans with unmarked boxes, which aren't even in electoral boxes as they're supposed to be, but in mail crates, essentially, would be considered nudity and sexual activity. The only way it could possibly be considered nudity, well, I guess since it was naked coming out and wasn't locked in a box like it was supposed to be and it was just nakedly out in the air, maybe that's what they would consider nudity. I just find that very funny. Nudity and sexual activity. Interesting. But I'll move on. I digress. Palm Beach dispute. Trump can live at Mar-a-Lago if bona fide employee. So here's the thing. Apparently, because he owns this huge resort right on this island in Mar-a-Lago in Florida. I guess the surrounding community, obviously Democratic controlled, tried to push him out, saying that he really couldn't live there because he doesn't. What was their excuse? Oh, that he brought too much attention to the area, right? Mind you, he owns the property, right? Their point was, I don't even, to be honest, I don't even know what their point was. He owns the property, he owns the land. What do you have no leg to stand on nor piss on? And basically, you little bureaucrats, shut up. But here's basically what they said: the dispute over whether former President Donald Trump can live at his Mar-a-Lago residence resort likely hinges on whether he is technically employed by the club. The issue is set to be addressed Tuesday night. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know where these dun-dun-duns went to school, okay? But if you own a company, whether it's a Taco Bell, a bookstore, a resort, it doesn't matter. As long as you own something, you are considered an employee as well. So for these idiots that don't know what they're talking about, ugh, that's all I gotta say. I don't even want to get into more because I might get in trouble. So let's just put it that way. He is deemed an employee because he owns the property. He can be on there and reside there because he owns the property. Moving on to the next one. Okay, this is where the example I said earlier about where this guy is a dictator. Okay, and it's been proven. And if you haven't, it hasn't sunk in your head even more, it's going to get proven again. But here we go. 24 judges, federal judges now, stepping down so Biden can replace them. 24 federal judges are claiming senior status, most in an effort to give Democratic presidential Joe Biden an opportunity to appoint the replacement, according to multimedia reports. Okay, it's a couple things there, a lot to marinate on. First of all, he's forcing them to do it, right? So he probably gave them a sweet little retirement package and said, "Go forth on your way, and we'll take care of you on the back end." The reason being, and the reason why he's doing it's twofold, really, right? He's going to pick the judges he wants, which is just as retarded as he is, but that's beside the point. But also on top of that, essentially, he's what's the word I'm looking for? He's filling the ticket, but because they didn't have Obama, basically Trump left the cupboard bare when it came to appointing of federal judges. Essentially, Obama had screwed the poochie and not had done it, and that's why Trump had so many. And obviously, Biden, it's optics. Biden doesn't want to see the fact that he has none that he never did. So, of course, he wants to have his mark or his stank, however you want to put it, on the process. So that's why he's doing this. It's an optical thing. It has nothing to do with the president. However, he's trying to combat Trump's 36 nominees in the previous regime, which again itself isn't stupid because he's still going to have the majority by Trump. So whatever. Hey, rock on, Biden. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't you get people jobs? Let's worry about that. But moving on. Republican Cox. Okay, so Gavin Newsom. Okay, I think I posted it yesterday. I posted it. I know I posted it today. I might have it later in the show here, but I posted it today. How close California is to superseding Gavin Newsom. I mean, within 1,000 votes, basically, today. And I'll go into it more later, but basically, just saying he's already got candidates lining up to take his position. One of them is his name is Republican Cox. Basically, opens run for California governor with ad hitting rival. Republican John Cox firmly opened his campaign for California governor Monday with a TV ad depicting his leading GOP rival as a political twin of Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom and promising to work for lower housing costs and new jobs. So basically, he's talking crap. Let's just be real. They wouldn't be doing this if they don't know that this is going to happen. So this is going to be a stain on the Democratic Party that's not going to go away. It's like a big festering stink, and it's going to be hilarious to see. I posted a meme on Facebook that I thought was hilarious. So AOC. A lot of the younger generation like her, right? Or the people that watch reality shows like her. Obviously, she's gotten in hot water because she seems to think that, she can say whatever she wants and never have any, I don't know, people actually question her or verify what she says, like everyone verified everybody else when the conservatives were in power, right? Well, basically twofold. I posted a meme on there. It was funny. I don't know if you guys would take it would be funny to you guys, but basically she was sitting in the car of JFK. Okay, basically right before you know what happened at that point, and she was sitting there with that dumb look that she normally has on her face, right? Basically saying, "I was there too," and oh my god, hilarious, right? So this kind of relates to this. Representative Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, Democrat from New York, said Monday she will not apologize to Senator Ted Cruz, Republican from Texas, for accusing him of nearly having her murdered during the Capitol riot. We've already know that she wasn't in the Capitol when the riot happened, so that's probably a big qualifier. If I don't know, they're going to be, concerned for your safety situation, right? But she's refusing to apologize. This is her one opportunity to say, you know what, my bad. But no, she doesn't do it. So there you go. So anything that comes out of her mouth, you should take with a grain of salt. Throw it over your shoulder, or take your toilet paper that you need to wipe your butt with, wipe it and flush. And that's enough of her. Representative Liz Cheney refuses to resign after Wyoming Republican Party votes to censor her. Her own constituents, I'm going to just make this simple and I'll read it, but this is funny. Her own constituents voted her out. They don't even want her in office because they say that they don't represent. It doesn't. They don't. She doesn't represent them. Her own constituents. Do you know how bad you have to be to get kicked out, voted out from your own constituency? She managed to do this, and she's refusing to leave. How is that possible? If I were to freaking Wyoming people, out, dude. But moving, and this is basically what it says. Wyoming resolution, this is what was stated in the papers that kicked her out, basically. Representative Cheney has violated the trust of her voters, failed to faithfully represent a very large majority of motivated Wyoming voters, and neglected her duty to represent the party and the will of the people who elected her to represent them. She's a Republican. That's the funny thing. But moving on. The consequence of Representative Cheney's actions has resulted in numerous Republicans in Wyoming and across the United States indicting her, indicating that they will either no longer actively participate in the Republican Party or stepping down from precinct representation positions. She's losing staff within the party, or have already changed their voter registration and left the party entirely because of or as long as Representative Cheney holds office. The resolution continues. However, the anti-Trump neoconservative is refusing to step down despite the disdain for her actions and from the people she was elected to represent. Can we say dictator? Can we say self-entitled? Like all those freaking politicians are. This is her statement now. However, I'm not going to step down, Cheney told Fox News' Chris Wallace. I think people all across Wyoming understand and recognize that our most important duty is to the Constitution, as I've explained and will continue to explain, to supporters all across the state and voters all across the state. The oath that I took to the Constitution compelled me to vote for impeachment, even though it went against her constituents that voted her in office in the first place. Idiot, idiot, idiot. You should be fired and a lot more other things. Moving on. Judge orders Michigan Secretary of State to release all communications with Dominion and Big Tech. Michigan's Democrat Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson hit with bombshell court order. Michigan's Democrat Secretary of State has been hit with the bombshell court order ruling after a judge ordered a top state official to release all communications regarding the 2020 election between her office and Dominion voting systems. They're saying the numbers could be up in the millions, guys. So this is huge. Michigan 13th Circuit Court Judge Kevin A. Alzheimer. Oh, that's horrible. Alzheimer, excuse me. Also ordered MISO or Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson to hand over any communication she made with anyone working for or connected to big tech companies including Facebook, Twitter, Apple, Amazon, or Google. I want to read that again because we don't get fact checked, which is right here. The move comes as Democrats and their allies in Silicon Valley and the media attempt to shift attention away from the election and toward the President Donald Trump impeachment. Why are they so focused on the impeachment? I wonder why. It's called the art of distraction, and you guys are falling right into it. However, ongoing investigations into the presidential race are far from over. Very true. Concerns regarding voter integrity in Michigan first emerged on the morning of Election Day when a deep red county in the north of the state appeared to show a clear victory for Democrat Joe Biden. However, further examination revealed that 6,000 votes tabulated by Dominion voting systems machines were flipped from President Trump to Biden. I mean, I don't know more to say about that. I don't get it. I don't. Report. Biden DOJ to call for Trump-appointed U.S. attorneys to resign. Is that the move of a dictator? I'll leave you to decide that. Joe Biden's Department of Justice is expected to request a resignation of U.S. attorneys appointed by former President Donald Trump as early as Tuesday, a top justice official said on Monday, according to CNN. While the request is expected to impact 56 state-confirmed U.S. attorneys, some attorneys are expected to stay. The justice official did not disclose when the resignations would take effect, but said a call with the U.S. attorneys nationwide to manage the transition has been scheduled. Okay, we have, in one instance, we have the Wyoming person that got voted out but is refusing to do so. So I'm wondering, in theory, if these U.S. attorneys could just go, no, just like the Wyoming chick. I don't know. Could happen, maybe. Why don't you step up and do it? That's what I would say. Moving on. Sorry, I had something in my teeth, guys. Sorry, it was bugging. Black Lives Matter and Antifa protesters marched through the streets on Washington, D.C. on Saturday night. In one video, marchers could be heard chanting, "Burn it down." We were worried about the Capitol riots, but not BLM and Antifa. Nothing to see here, guys. Move away. The protesters also became violent when D.C. police officer outside a restaurant. BLM and Antifa protesters took to the streets in the nation's capital Saturday night. A video posted by independent videographer Brendan Gustafswager shows the marchers moving through what appears to be a residential neighborhood chanting, "If we don't get it, burn it down." These people haven't went away, guys. They should be terrorists. Why are Trump supporters be calling terrorists when the terrorists are in the street, obviously saying burn it down? Frickin' hypocrisy 101. Protesters carrying an Antifa flag could be seen with the marchers as they chanted, "Whole streets, whose streets? Our streets." Fox News reporter told the Liberation Collective and the Palm Collective organized the D.C. Queer and Trans Black History March and Rally, which begins about 2 p.m. Following the event, BLM protesters began marching near DuPont Circle, the article states. As the marchers approached a row of restaurants, protesters began again harassing the diners. Marchers wearing a black block turned being harassed to police officers with chants and blinding strobe lights. The conflict turned violent as protesters scuffled with the D.C. Metro officers. Does this ring a bell, guys, of the summer? Here we go. I thought because Joe Biden was preaching unity, everyone was going to stop what they're doing, throw their hands in the air and see kumbaya. Why is this not happening? I am appalled. Police officers monitored the crowd closely until the groups eventually dispersed. I'm appalled. Moving on. Actually, guys, that is it. I had more news, but I wanted to make this a short and sweet. But sorry, my rants might have kicked it a little longer. But I mean, seriously, this is nothing has changed, though, right? I thought the reason why this is going to be part of my final thoughts. We'll just say final thoughts. I thought the reason why that supposedly that people voted in Biden, right, was because they were tired of Trump and Trump's antics and inciting violence and all this stuff, right? So Trump's gone. But yet, strangely, Biden's in office. BLM and Antifa are still at it, doing what they normally do, protesting and burning stuff down and inciting riots and violence. But yet we're worried about impeaching a former president for doing the same thing, which there were Antifa and BLM people in the Capitol riot anyway. But it was Trump's fault. Let's impeach him. That makes sense, right? Because the real problem's outside their streets. Well, let's not focus on that. There was a meme on Facebook saying that there was a fence already around the Capitol. They should just put a lock on it and put a sign on saying "Welcome to the Zoo." I thought that was fantastic. But basically, guys, obviously the impeachment is going to go through. Even with Republicans' protest, this is going to be a fun little lesson in the stupidity of the people that are in charge. The fact that we voted them in, we should really all look in the mirror and self-reflect. Um, I can't tell you enough how much we need term limits. Some of these old people can't even freaking put in their teeth straight, i.e. Nancy Pelosi. So, I mean, realistically, I mean, how long do these people have before they can get out of office? Please. I mean, if there's one prayer you all could do, that would be the one I would say. Again, in closing, please like and share my video. If we want to get this, I want to get this party growing here. Over 100 people again. They hate to silence bigger people. I'm just a small guy right now on the totem pole. I found that out in my podcast on Spotify and the other channels based on my opinions, which again, guys, I'm just reading the news articles and putting commentary to them. This is what's printed. This is what's out there. Just because I do a little research and find it. And it doesn't make one news source better than the other, guys. I mean, it's all coming, right? So why is it only one way and not the other? I don't want to get on a tangent again, but that's just the reality of it. Any messages you want me to say on the show, please reach out to me via email at saltysailor@saltysailornation.com. I would love to hear from everybody. In conclusion, again, as always, this show is dedicated to all the first responders and essential employees. You all deserve a shout out. To all my brothers and sisters in the armed forces, both here and abroad, both past and present, stay hot, stay frosty. Apparently I need one. Thank you, Salty Dogs, for listening. Feel free to leave messages, and I'll play them in future live shows. Keep the faith, Salty Dogs, and hold the line. The Salty Sailor, peace out.
It's time for the patriots to mount up. Mount up. Patriots, mount up. Let's monitor the politics. Give them all the realness. Everything transparent so the people feel this. Government officials, we gon' challenge all your bullish. Lying to the people in the world, let's expose this.